They called it the Devil's Triangle, a patch of ocean so vast, so strangely haunted that ships and planes vanished as if swallowed by the sea itself. Somewhere between Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, an invisible force seemed to be at work. Pilots described their compasses spinning wildly, sailors reported eerie lights dancing over the waves, and rescue teams sent to investigate disappeared themselves. For over a century, the Bermuda Triangle has been the stage of one of history's most enduring mysteries, a riddle written in salt water and fear. The story begins in December 1945. 5 American torpedo bombers, known as the Flight 19, took off from a naval base in Florida for a routine training mission. Experienced pilots, clear skies, well-maintained aircraft. Nothing unusual, but hours later their radio messages began to change. Everything looks wrong. Even the ocean looks strange. That was the last coherent transmission from the flight leader. Then, silence. All 5 planes, along with the 14 men aboard, vanished. The Navy sent out a massive search and rescue operation, including a rescue plane with 13 crew members. That plane also disappeared. No trace, no wreckage, no survivors. The official report read simply, "Cause unknown." That was the event that sealed the legend of the Bermuda Triangle. But the truth is, reports of strange disappearances in that region go back much further. In 1918, the USS Cyclops, a massive US Navy cargo ship carrying over 300 men, vanished without a distress call, somewhere between Barbados and Baltimore. It was the largest non-combat loss of life in US naval history. Again, no wreckage, no clues, no explanation. Sailors started whispering about a curse. Some claimed they saw sudden whirlpools or ghostly mists rise from the ocean. Others spoke of glowing lights under the water, moving like intelligent creatures. Was it a magnetic anomaly, a gateway to another dimension, or something buried deep beneath the waves, something ancient? Scientists, of course, weren't convinced. Over the years, investigators have proposed rational explanations. One theory points to methane gas hydrates trapped beneath the ocean floor. When these gas bubbles erupt, they could make the water's density drop so suddenly that ships lose buoyancy and sink in seconds. Another theory involves powerful downdrafts from the atmosphere, microbursts that could force planes into the ocean before pilots even have time to react. And then, there's the magnetic mystery. The Bermuda Triangle is one of the few places on Earth where true north and magnetic north align, creating compass confusion for navigators unfamiliar with the phenomenon. A small miscalculation in that region could send a vessel hundreds of miles off course, straight into disaster. But even with science on its side, logic doesn't always satisfy the human imagination. After all, how can you explain cases where pilots reported fog walls that seemed to bend time? One pilot in 1970, Bruce Gernon, claimed he flew through a glowing tunnel-shaped cloud while traveling from Andros Island to Florida. Inside it, his instruments malfunctioned. When he emerged, his plane was 100 miles farther than it should have been, and the flight had taken half the expected time. He described it as a time warp. For skeptics, it's just atmospheric illusions or electrical interference, but to believers, it's proof that something beyond human understanding operates there. Over the decades, more than 1,000 lives have been lost in the Triangle's mysterious incidents. Yet curiously, many ships and planes have passed through it safely every single day. So, is the Bermuda Triangle really cursed? Or is it just the ocean doing what the ocean does best, reminding us how little control we truly have? Let's look closer at what makes this place so extraordinary. The Triangle covers about 500,000 square miles of ocean. Within this vast space, powerful ocean currents collide. The Gulf Stream, in particular, which moves with immense speed and unpredictability. Any debris from a wreck could be swept away in minutes. That's one reason why so few traces of missing vessels have ever been found. And then there's the weather. Tropical storms and hurricanes frequently form near this region, and sudden squalls can reduce visibility to zero. Combine that with magnetic interference and navigational errors, and you have a deadly cocktail for disaster. Still, something about the Bermuda Triangle transcends natural explanation. In the 1950s and 60s, writers began to sensationalize it, weaving together true incidents with speculation. Charles Berlitz's 1974 bestseller, The Bermuda Triangle, sold millions of copies, suggesting alien abductions, underwater cities, and connections to the lost civilization of Atlantis. Atlantis, the mythical island said to have sunk beneath the sea thousands of years ago. According to Berlitz, the triangle's strange energy might be remnants of Atlantean technology. Of course, there's no evidence of that, but his ideas fired the public imagination. Soon, the triangle became a cultural phenomenon, appearing in movies, songs, and documentaries. In the 1970s, the US Coast Guard, tired of endless questions, issued an official statement. They said, quote, "The number of ships and aircraft reported missing in the area is not significantly greater than in any other part of the ocean." In other words, maybe there's no mystery at all, just human error, bad weather, and coincidence. And yet, the disappearances haven't stopped entirely. In 2015, the cargo ship El Faro sank near the triangle after losing power during a hurricane. 33 crew members died. The ship's black box was eventually recovered, but its story still echoes the same themes: confusion, sudden failure, and the ocean's unstoppable force. So maybe the real mystery isn't whether the Bermuda Triangle is supernatural, it's why the legend refuses to die. Humans have always needed places of wonder and fear. The edges of maps used to be marked with the words, "Here be dragons." The Bermuda Triangle is our modern dragon. It's a reminder that despite satellites, radar, and GPS, there are still places on this planet where the unknown reigns. When you stand on the shores of Miami and look out toward the endless blue, you see only beauty. But somewhere out there, beneath the calm waves, lies a silent graveyard of ships, 1,000 unanswered questions, and one unbroken mystery. Maybe the truth is simple. The Bermuda Triangle isn't just a place, it's a story. A story born from fear, wonder, and the human craving for explanation in the face of chaos. Because even in the age of science, some mysteries still whisper from the deep, daring us to ask the oldest question of all: what if we don't know everything?